Hey, I'm Kenneth Wajda. I'm a professional photographer here in Colorado. Welcome to another one of my weekly Leica talks, all things Leica. So today I want to talk about my latest and greatest Leica carry-all bag. I really do have a bag situation. Oh, before we get started, let me just quick mention, thank you all for who are responding to and adding to the contributions. This show is not possible without your support, and you are who I make these shows for. Thank you for being a part of them. It's so important to me that I have an audience to talk about the kind of photography I enjoy and the gear and the way we shoot. And thank you for, if you can contribute anything, even a few dollars a month, it all adds up and it makes it so that these shows are possible. I've been doing 3 shows a week, trying to fill some of the time in the time when we don't have any real freelance work. So if you can throw a few dollars my way, if your work is not holding you back at the moment, I hope it isn't, please consider putting a little bit, sending it this way. All right, so today's photo talk is about a bag. And I was walking through a little flea market, an indoor flea market, one of these places where different people have different booths of stuff. And I saw this. And this doesn't look like much. It's a little yellow canvas bag. It might be a little bit faded. I think it was like kind of green at one point. Because when I opened it, I looked at it and it kind of has like almost like a army green color to it. But it weighs nothing. It says made in India, 100% cotton. And I thought, you know, I could put a Leica M2 in there. I could fit that Leica M2 in there and then have a second space for another camera if I just want to take a 2-camera system out. And lately I've been carrying this Sony a6000 with a 50mm Summerites. So this lets me shoot this old 50mm 1.5 with a Sony mirrorless camera. And when I want to shoot something digital on the quick, maybe for Roy Stryker or Street, this can just live inside of here. And I picked up this little bag. It's a United Airlines Business First, probably imitation leather bag, but it's got like a little bit of a liner in it. And I thought, you know what? I'll pick up that bag. I'll stick that in there. So now this goes into that, and it separates it from the Leica. So now there's a 2-camera setup. The Sony on one side in that little case, and the Leica it went to war. It doesn't need a case. And those two have become, there are times when I'll take the Dream Team kit out and that'll stay in the car because I don't want to carry it into the stores with me. But this I'll take into the stores with me. And I've been doing the cross shoulder thing and I find that I don't even notice it. If I have it on one shoulder, one of my shoulders is higher because all my life I've been carrying a camera case back at the newspaper days for years and years and years on one shoulder. And I'm definitely raised up. But doing the cross-body thing really works well. And I think it's because the camera case doesn't look like a camera case, and it's really thin, and it doesn't weigh anything. The case starts out weighing nothing because it's so lightweight. And it almost seems like that shouldn't be a camera case. You can't use that for a camera case. But I'm drawn to it because it's so lightweight, and for a 2 Leica lens, I end up with a 50 that I can throw on that M2, plus I have the 35. So I have 2 fast lenses I can shoot with the Leica film camera, plus I have the a6000 Sony, which with a 1.5 crop factor, I get a 75mm out of. So I have a lot of opportunities on how to use it, and now I can take that into stores. Now I can take that to places where I won't take the big Ona bag because it's a little bit heavy for just going into the store. But there are some wonderful photographs by Joel Meyerowitz and Gary Winogrand in supermarkets and ordinary places like that. If you leave the camera in the car, it does you no good. You need to have it with you. And I was just using it. I went to Whole Foods and there was somebody with a little calculator type thing, probably a phone, and he was going through, he was a clerk there, and he was doing an order to a shopping cart for somebody remotely who was ordering for outside delivery. So I had the 75mm on with that 51.5. And I shot a few frames of him loading up the cart and pulling groceries from the freezer counter. And that'll be in my Roy Stryker project. And that's only because I took this bag into the store. Because it's small enough to do it, it doesn't weigh anything, it's not a big deal. But sometimes I think that I have different bags for different reasons. The one thing I always want to do is keep a bag with me that I'm actually going to carry a camera that I'm going to use. And I never say, well, I don't feel like taking it on this individual trip, I'll just leave it. Because then that grocery store shot doesn't happen because, yeah, it's happening, but camera's out in the car. So when I go out for a photo shoot where I'm going to go work something, I like to take the big Dream Team bag. When I'm going out on a day-to-day and I want to take a film in a digital body, I've often taken the Nikon D610. And I've often taken the Fuji X100, and they may replace that Sony at times. But they'll also fit, well, not the Nikon. The Nikon won't fit in there very well. But the Fuji would fit in place of the Sony. So those two I probably could swap out. But the idea that I have a very small kit that doesn't weigh a lot in a bag that doesn't even look like a camera bag, I like that. And I have this great brown suede jacket that I put it with. It matches pretty good. All right, that's today's photography talk. Alternatives for the expensive Leica bags. Hey, if you're enjoying these, hit the subscribe button. If you can support, please consider. Hit the Patreon, and I'll be back next week, and we'll talk photography. As always, here's the good light.